The hardest thing you have to do in your life is also the simplest thing. As in structure and complexity. I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do it. The hardest thing you're going to have to do in life and in general is let go. In fact, I would say it's probably the lesson of life. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So there's that Frozen movie. They talk about it all the time, but in simpler terms. There's also that reminded me of something else, but I can't remember what it was. Probably come by the end. It came when I was going back to that. That's why I missed the transit. Everything in your life that you hold on to is actually you physically hold on to it. You don't see it. And so now I remember the way you probably heard of Buddha. Buddha was some of the first philosophic, and just what I've heard about Western culture, Buddha's what we hear in school and from people. At least I did. And Buddha's enlightenment was actually from one of the main things that really upset him, and I think it was how he got enlightened at the same time, was when his mother passed away. And it was on a full moon. I think he was talking to the moon. And he asked for answers. Or maybe she spoke to him. But that's what made him the saddest. Now he eventually had to let go of that. And then he became realized. Once you let go of things, and like I was saying, they are stored in the body energetically. The thing that sucks about this life that's hitting our true form is energy. We see energy in a slow, distorted, you could say disoriented way. We don't see it in its raw form. It's a cover up. If you were to see a desk, just a desk, it would be bouncing around with atoms, but it would be energy, basically. It's invisible. We come from the invisible. And this is the whole play. So your energy, what you hold, so let's just say maybe a woman hits you on your leg really hard. And usually for most people, when something happens, it traumatizes them. Even if it traumatizes them for most situations. Your girlfriend hit you and it was just during a fight. It wasn't so necessarily the pain, it was the emotional response, the reaction. It wasn't necessarily the pain. It was kind of like it was also an instinct maybe that took over you, instinctual. That will hold with you if you hold it, which most people are because they're not aware. So it's always there because they're holding on to it. You can hold on to stuff, but not physically. But you kind of are physically, you just don't see it. You could say emotionally. And so it's always with you, depending on the severe of the situation. But most people have, again, something that's there. Okay, so we'll go over an exercise, how to stop this. The thing is, when I give an exercise, I want to give it so it can't be messed up. Think of something that made you mad, whatever pisses you off. Little things don't necessarily hold, but they somewhat do. It's usually bigger things. Aim for those, something that always. It's different from something you don't like. It's something that you hate. And now see how that feeling is there. See how you were moments before that. And sometime in the future, after this, see, because it's not on you all the time, but it's the thing is that it lingers and actually holds you back for on really problematic, catastrophic things such as an alcohol problem, abuse, missing parents, foster kids, or blaming someone for the circumstance of your life. Even if you were a guy in a wheelchair and your legs got chopped off by a guy because he ran into you, whether he served the sentence or not, maybe he wasn't guilty. it's about, it's not really about them, it's about you. And it's about letting go. One of the biggest points, this video is already long, but they talk about forgiveness, and that's basically the answer. So you have this thing that really makes you pissed off, something in the past, because it's probably not something in the future. That could be a little bit too. And all you have to do is simply forgive it. Let it go. As soon as you make amends with it, then it's not going to bother you anymore. Even if somebody died, you're going to move on. It's not your fault, but you make it your fault. Most people's stuff is not, I don't want to say super severe, but it's not, whether it's big or not, it's not the point. It's the entanglement that's in it. I'm saying most people, yeah, maybe something happened when they were younger, but it's not, they are holding on to it, but it's not happening every day, is what I'm saying. For most. Okay? So all you have to do, whatever makes you super mad and pisses you off, if you also feel your body, this is another, it will show up. So someone who's really mad about a lot of stuff is they're going to be tight somewhere in the body because it has to hold. It has to hold. When you get so loose and so relaxed, you just completely let go of the body. And all you have to do is really accept it. Whatever side you're on, you have to go to that other side. And once you make amends, it's going to be the best feeling ever. Because it's like a boulder that you're carrying. Have a nice one.